Are you ready?
Well, how's it going, peeps? We got some crazy news to start the morning off, for me at least. Both Kawhi Leonard and Paul George went to the Clippers. Now, I was asleep last night when this happened, so this is my first initial reaction to it. As soon as I seen it, hopped in my car, about to get some coffee. Gotta talk to you guys about this. This is big. Not only for the Detroit Pistons in the Eastern Conference, we'll talk about that later on in a minute, but for the West. This is the thing about them, okay? This is going to be very overlooked. Now, I'm not sure the full details of the trade, but if they kept Patrick Beverley, which I'm sure they did, they can legit run a full court press the entire game. Because when Paul George first came in the league, he was a shooting guard. Not sure if they're going to play him at power forward offensively. Between him and Kawhi, that's probably going to be a positionless position for the Clippers. But between Beverley, Paul George, and Kawhi Leonard, those are three defensive stars. Paul George and Kawhi Leonard are probably the best two-way players in the game right now. Kawhi might be one of the best two-way players of all time. Still got a little bit of work to be in that conversation, but he's certainly in there. But Paul George and Kawhi Leonard going back to their home in LA is huge because they're going to actually want to be there and play. This is why you don't trade for one-year rentals. Now, for OKC case, it worked out. Paul George re-signed. Don't know why they retraded him, but don't know if that means Westbrook's on there. And please don't get me started on that. Please don't get me started on that. I do not want him. They traded the only player, Toronto did, that wanted to be there for two people that both left. Toronto is now missing two starters. A superstar and a very good role player, while the Clippers just got a whole lot better. Are they going to be better than the Lakers? I don't know. Lakers need to get some quality guys now, since that their cat that they're holding out with didn't show up. They just signed Danny Green, so that's a very good piece for the Lakers to get. That is going to be their version of Ray Allen. Obviously not that good of a player, but Danny Green is a very good catch and shooter. So that will work out for the Lakers. Now the Clippers, they got Lou Will coming in off the bench. That is going to be crazy. So let's talk about how this affects the Eastern Conference. So what does this mean for the Eastern Conference? Well, it just opened up a lot. Outside of Milwaukee, I don't know if I really know who's going to be the second seed. Philadelphia spent a lot of money on Al Horford. They got Josh Richardson. I mean, they're quality players, but the floor spacing is god-awful. Really, your only good shooter is Tobias Harris. Now, both Embiid and Horford can stretch the floor, but they're not really that efficient. Really, Tobias Harris is the best shooter, but I have to see how that one's going to work out. That one, it might take some time for them to coexist and find their groove together. So they might get off to a rough start, but come playoff time, they'll probably find it and become the Philadelphia that we know that's good. Boston, they lost two good starters in Kyrie and Horford. They picked up Kemba. That's a good move. But they replaced Al Horford with Enes Kanter, who is a good backup center. Don't know how it's going to work out. Jason Tatum needs to step up and live up to the hype now, because if not, Celtics are going to be in trouble. Indiana did a great job improving. Got to see how healthy Victor Oladipo is going to be. But they've added some very good depth pieces. So I was very impressed with the moves that Indiana made. They wasted no time in adding depth and got deeper. And Indiana's always been a thorn in the Pistons side. So I didn't like that. But kudos to them. The Brooklyn Nets. Obviously, Kyrie and DeAndre Jordan are going to be able to play. KD not going to play. They lost D'Angelo Russell to get Kyrie. Even when KD comes back next season, don't know how good they're going to be, because really Achilles injuries takes a few years to recover from. But like I said earlier in previous videos, the thing that KD's got going for him, he doesn't really rely on his athleticism. But neither did DeMarcus Cousins. DeMarcus Cousins really isn't DeMarcus Cousins yet. So I don't know how long it's going to take KD to come back to be KD, if he ever did. Achilles are bad. It's the worst injury you could suffer. Recovering wise, maybe the most painful, but recovering, it sucks. So where does this leave the Detroit Pistons with everything that's going on? It's wide open. The East is wide flipping open. I think Toronto is going to fall to the 6th seed. I still think they're a good quality team. They have chemistry. They've been together for a few years now. I don't think they're going to fall off the face of the earth and not be a playoff team. But that's crazy. The Pistons can legit be a 5th seed now, if not higher. Anywhere, I don't believe they'll be the 8th seed. They'll be a 7th seed or higher. And that's not really shooting for the moon as being realistic, but that's what the move does for you. So I feel Dwayne Casey will be motivated, since that their trade left Toronto wounded. They did get a championship, so I mean, you can't really be too mad at Toronto, but they traded away the player that wanted to stay. So let me know in the comments down below how you guys are feeling about this trade. Give me your standings for East and West. I will be doing that relatively soon. I always do that with my brother, so that's coming soon. Instagram, Twitter in the description with all the USA members, and I'll see you peeps later.